Hey everyone, how's it going? Nice to be alive again. It seems like I finally have been able to deliver on my promise to do this kind of live stream more regularly. So it's now my third stream. Third? I think it's my third stream in 5 weeks. It's we're not quite there yet, but getting there. Anyway, Maros, hi. Nice to see you again live here. If you're watching this, come join me live. We're going to have fun today. Um, so what I like to do on these live streams nowadays is to explore something that I have been sort of putting off and haven't engaged with and thought like one day I'm going to sit down and try this and then I never did. So one of those examples of that is something that's called Goose or codename Goose. I'm not sure if the codename part is part of that, but that's what I will be looking at today. So for those of you who don't know, Goose, it's a project by a company called Block. They have been. I haven't been paying it that much attention to what they have been doing before. As far as I can tell, they have been in the blockchain. Hey Dave, hey Ivan. Um, and but now they're poking more into AI. I'm not sure if the whole company shifted or just they're doing this interesting project. I don't think they're necessarily in conflict, but this seems to be a interesting thing. Uh, Especially, I loved the launch of this thing. It I felt like it's everywhere, and you kind of have to try it. There were events and blog posts and all kinds of stuff going on. And honestly, I'm going entering this into this totally blind. I don't know what is going on with this. What exactly does it do? But I want to find out and see if it's like super cool. Hey Marit, you tried exploring Goose. You're curious how different it is from your experience, your first experience. Well, we'll see how my first experience is. Uh, let's try. Let's just go with this. It says install Goose. It's open source, runs locally, extensible, autonomous. All kinds of nice things we can find on the front page. We have docs. Oh my god. Okay, there's a lot of docs for this. When did when did they launch this? It seems like it wasn't that long ago. Can we ask when uh when was Goose launched? Let's try. I don't have information. Oh, okay. Oh, but we can visit GitHub. Maybe that'll give us some information. Let's go to commits. So last commit was 24 24 minutes ago. But can we look into? I'm a little rusty on my GitHub. How do I look into when it was launched? January. All right, so work started back in October, it seems like, or August. Yeah, August. First version was almost a year ago, back in August. But then version one, V1 beta stable. The first stable version was beginning of the year, January, and we can probably find blog Goose. We can find some launch information here. 5 boring tasks. I wanted to look at this post because this is written by Angie, and this is like this was interesting. I remember like checking this out. We have like summarizing GitHub activity, extracting action items, really cool stuff that like is indeed boring, and you want to like automate your way out of that, or like just sort of improve stuff. Codename Goose goes to Boston. Introducing Codename Goose. All right, so they introduced that on January 28th. So that's pretty much the same thing as we see in here. All right. Oh, thank you, Marit. You actually sent me the link. I should pay more attention to the chat. Let me put it a little bit more so it's in my at least in corner of my eye, because then otherwise I don't pay attention to it, and that's no good. I want to be interacting with y'all. Okay, so let's go to installation. I'm on Mac OS, and let's make that installation. All right. Okay, let's. I don't want to show you my whole desktop, but here we go. Okay, Goose. Here we go. By the way, let me know if the music is too loud or not loud enough. I have some music going on, but I can hear it. Not sure if you can hear it and if it's not distracting. All right, let's take a look. Configure your providers. Select the model to get started with Goose. You'll need to use API keys generated by each provider, which will be encrypted and stored locally. You can change your provider at any time in settings. All right, so as I said, I'm going to this totally blind, but I did one thing yesterday, and I reached out to Angie and told her like, hey, I'm going to be doing this live stream, so just to let you know. Pretty much I wanted to see if she like reshares. You cannot hear the music, thank you. Pretty much wanted to ask her, like to reshare and to let the world know. But she did give me one recommendation and gave me a little something to improve my experience. So she gave me an API key that's going to be useful, and told me to use the open route. So I'm going to listen to Angie, and here we go. Choose open router. Let's go configure, and here I paste my API key. So I'm going to hide it from the screen so that you don't view it all. Here we go. Key is submitted. Let's go submit. And we're good. Let's launch. Woo! Success. Started. Oh, I didn't see that message. We started using Goose with Anthropic something. So Goose hints, make recipe session, recipe library. All right. Okay, what can Goose help with? We can reference files. We can do all kinds of stuff. We can select model. So let's change model. Let's try to see. No, wait. What do I want? Select. I wanted to like change to Claude whatever. Here we go. Enable lead worker mode. I cannot click this. Lead model. I guess, yeah, okay. That was the problem. Initial lead. Save settings. All right, good. So let's explore this. What can you do? We're going to ask Goose. Love the animation, by the way. Goose is working on it. Going to zoom this in a little bit. All right. Oh, okay. So after a couple of seconds of wait, we got a wall of text. Development and code tools. You can execute shell commands, edit, view, modify. All right. Task scheduling, cron expressions, track execution, sub recipe execution sequentially or in parallel, extension system, search for additional extensions, enable, disable extensions. All right. So here we have some tools on what Goose has access to. We can run shell commands, view files, capture screenshots, handle, schedule tasks, enable, disable extensions. I can dynamically load new extensions. All right, communication. I use Markdown. That's nice. I can display code with proper syntax highlighting, getting more capabilities. All right, so that's what you can do. So for additional extensions, I'm going to take a look at the extensions. Oh, something I noticed. It seems like we have like a working directory where we are currently in. Oh yeah, okay. So, but when I click this, it's opening my documents subfolder. Not sure why is that, but this seems to be hinting that, yeah, this is the directory we are working on. So yeah, I don't know. What do we have here? Open directory, new session, session history scheduler. Make recipe from this session. Let's go to a recipe library. I want to see like what can we. Oh, no saved recipes. Okay, I guess we'll go back to documentation and I'm going to consult this a little bit to see like what is it that we can do. So we have installation, we have been through this, managing sessions. Let's take a look. New session. All right, so these are the basics of how I open different windows. Let's look at recipes. I want to see recipes. And it seems we have a video. I'm going to play that, see what happens. Oh, nice. All right, that's really cool. I especially appreciate the fact that it seems like Goose was built with shareability in mind from the get go. Um, so far, I have found the whole AI experience, whether it is with ChatGPT or Claude or Cursor for that matter, a bit isolated. Unless you discuss your tips and tricks with your colleagues, there's no real way of sharing stuff. With Cursor, you can share rules, but those I don't know. I don't think I have ever used someone else's rules or shared my rules with them. Um, this seems to me like a similar thing to rules, but I find it to be a um, little bit more interesting, a little bit more like tailored to your experience. To a little more tailored to the ability to share that experience. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, let's go with tutorials. I feel like I want to do something. Building custom extensions, CI/CD, Docker, advanced. I want to something like I want to kick off with something very simple. Like we have extensions, we have MCP servers. Hey, you know what? Let's go with MCP servers. I think those are going to be good. So how do we add extensions? We'll go click three dots. I don't see those. Wait, where do I go? Goose desktop on the top right corner of the Goose desktop. Select advanced settings. I think they meant this. Advanced settings. Here we go. And where do we go next? Add custom extension. Oh, we can browse extensions. Let's go. Uh, developer memory. I want to see if I can. Yeah, this one is the one. Playwright. Let's go ahead. I'm going to install this extension. And we're going to speech interface, voice interaction. Nice. Okay. I have a separate application for that. Okay, so we have our extension, and now let's go to the blog and let's do something. Goose gets the driver license. Okay. I want to start with something simple because I feel like I feel like there's so many abilities to this that I genuinely don't know how to start. So I'm starting with something familiar, and that's Playwright MCP. So let's try and see if we can now. Okay. Open browser and go to google.com. Let's see if it will use that MCP now. Goose is working on it. Hey, let's go. All right. I like that. So what do we have here? I noticed that, oh, that's nice. I noticed that Google has shown a cookie consent dialog. Would you like me to accept all cookies, reject all cookies, view more options? Reject all cookies. And I guess I need to hit enter. Oh, nice. Let's go. What would you like to do next? Search for codename Goose. I'll help you search for codename Goose on Google. Okay, so it found the results and it even tries to show that to me. AI agent created by Block, the parent company of Square, Cash App, and Tidal, is designed to automate engineering tasks and can run locally on your machine. All right. So let's now. We talked about recipes. So we had recipes in the documentation here. Where's our, yeah, here we go. So how about we create a recipe, Goose recipes tutorial, extensions. So we have a pretty good idea on how to create a recipe, but I want to see if I can use Goose itself to create a recipe. Create a Goose recipe for this interaction. I'm wondering if it's now going to give me like a recipe to like roast a goose or something. Let's see what happens. I don't think this is the way to create recipes, but we'll see if Goose is self-aware and create a recipe. Oh yes, I'll create a recipe for this browser interaction. Nice. All right, so we got it. So we create a recipe that navigates to Google, handles cookie content, search for codename Goose. You can run this recipe with Goose CLI. Nice. Let's add parameters so that I can modify the search keyword. Oh, I see, Maras, that you cannot hear sound from video or music. Oh no. I'm sorry about that. I thought I had that figured out already, and looks like I don't. Because I can hear the music in my headphones. And I thought I saw that indicated on my sound card, but no. Yeah, so sorry for 5 minutes of silence on the video. So let's see. So I'll modify the recipe. Beautiful. All right, parameters, search term. Okay. Add more configurable parameters like language or region. Make any modifications. I think I'm satisfied right now with what this does. I realize that this is like not the most useful interaction, but it's a good start. It's something that we can do. I'm wondering like this makes me wonder like how much can I do if I'm not logged in? Is there a way for me to do a login without exposing my credentials or interacting with something? I'm pretty sure like I can store some API keys somewhere. Okay, this is not what I wanted. Yeah, prompt recipe. Okay, we got parameters, we got settings. Temperature. Temperature is a term that is being used in connection to AI, and I don't know what that means. Temperature and model you have already chosen, which actually works just fine. But sometimes you just want more control. For example, when performing subjective tasks like planning a trip, it can help you turn up the temperature settings. Think of temperature like a creativity dial. The higher it is, the more varied and unexpected the results. Oh, okay. So it wasn't that difficult. It's just temperature. All right, if the suggestion isn't quite right, the user can just run the recipe again to get a new one. Nice. All right, so here's our Playwright. Now we have our parameter. So where is my, hey, we have a recipe library and it doesn't appear here. So I need to import a recipe. I can paste a deep link. And then we are good to go. But can I interact here? Wait, what was the how do I do the deep link? Import this recipe into my recipes library. Oops. Import this recipe into my recipe library. See if it can do that for us. So first I'll create a proper directory structure. And then it is going to add that. Created dedicated recipe library, moved it to recipe YAML, created metadata, add more metadata, create example files showing you how to use the recipe. No, I don't really feel like writing documentation. I want to see if the library is here. It's not. I totally forgot, like there was this section on recipes, recipe generator. Desktop, you cannot create a recipe from an existing recipe session. Oh, okay, but you can edit the recipe. Make a recipe from this session. Provide a title. Yeah, I wasn't I wasn't reading the documentation right. Set a set of instructions will also be automatically generated. Review and edit as needed. Provide an optional initial prompt to display the chat box. Share recipe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, let's it doesn't look like we are really adding that. I'm for some reason I think it should be here and it's not, and I don't know why. And now I have like I can do the deep link, but can I make this appear in my, yeah, we have metadata recipe. It is here. We do have that search here, but I thought it's going to be here, but let me go back. I'm not really good at reading documentation. Who is, right? But like shareable recipes. How do I get that link? For some reason, I missed that totally. Sometimes you finish a task and realize, hey, this could be a setup. Maybe you have created a great combination of tools, decided a clear goal, and want to preserve that flow. Or maybe you're trying to help someone else replicate what you just did without walking them through it step by step. You can turn your Goose session into a reusable recipe that includes the tools, goals, and setup you're using right now and package it into a new agent that others or future you can launch with a single click. So while in the session you want, save as recipe, click the gear icon in the top right corner. So I think my approach was not the best one, right? I should have clicked the gear icon and do make recipe from this session. Instead of that, what I did is I asked Goose to create a recipe. I think like this is where we diverge. Uh, and here you cannot see this actually. Here we go. We have confirm extension installation. Okay. Untitled recipe, Google stuff. Description opens up browser and searches for a term. Okay. So here's like the whole window and everything. Edit instructions. Sure, okay. Add initial prompts, new activity, top line prompts and activities to display. All right, so we have this. I'm going to save the recipe. To save that. All right. And now can I use that? I'll create a new window and I have recipe library. Let's use that. And let's search for Playwright. What's going to happen? I'm wondering. Open browser. Oh, it's opening multiple windows. Something's going wrong. I think maybe the problem is that I already had Playwright window opened and it just got stuck in a loop. Browser close. Oh, there's an issue with existing. Let me close and start fresh. Good idea. Did it close it? Doop, doop, doop. Now that I've cleared existing sessions, agent Google stuff. No, go. You know what? I'm going to close that browser. And where's my session? Here's agent Google stuff. Search for Playwright. Okay, let's go. All right. So this is really nice. So I'm automating stuff. So what it is saying, I started with the prompt ng demoed on Selenium Conf. Use Selenium to go to the Heroku form site and fill out the form page with generic data. And previously she said that you said that you had a different experience from the demo. Looking at the UI with the ideas of listening to Angie talk about recipes, I have a theory that the recipe is almost equivalent to session with particular tools enabled. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. What you showed us on UI is so far is that you have two tools enabled, something that is Google specific called Developer and Playwright. Recipe may make more sense after you use the two you have in session. Okay. All right, so we have successfully built a recipe. I'm going to look for some inspiration. So we have a blog post here. And she had some boring tasks that my agent today saved me hours. All right. Summarize them GitHub activity into actionable insights. We have a GitHub MCP that we can use. Extract action from a long Slack thread. Create a roadmap from community feedback. That is nice. Fixing my bad CSS breakpoints because I gave up. That is good. Yeah, CSS and R are not friends. After 30 minutes of fighting with breakpoint spacing and container widths, I gave up the problem to Goose by showing screenshots of a page. Goose spotted the issue immediately and rewrote my media query logic as well as some other key CSS that was missing. So here's the developer MCP. this developer extension is already installed. So let's do that. Let's go. Let's have a new session here. I'm going to open a different folder. Let's go to my website. So here we go. And the problem someone reported to me, I'm going to close this session. Someone pointed to me yesterday or the day before that when they go to my site and they are on a mobile view, so let's shrink this. When they're on mobile view and they click this menu, the height, like the thing is not scrollable. Yep. Okay. That's what it is. So let's start totally fresh and say on my website when I open a menu in mobile view, it is not scrollable. Can you please identify the issue and fix that? Let's see what happens. I love that it shows the cost here, that you have a rough idea of what's going on and how much it costs you. Okay, so now it's like trying to identify the repository. It went to it totally blind. Let me look for components that might contain menu implementation, particular banner components, since it's included in the app view. Not sure about that, but we'll see. I can see the issue. The mobile menu is set to fixed width, fixed height, but doesn't have any overflow handling, which means content that's taller than viewport will be cut off and not scrollable. Navbar mobile menu is to make it scrollable. I added overflow y auto to the main container div. Oh wow! All right, I'm going to open cursor because I want to take a look at what Goose has done. Let's make this bigger, and I can see in my Git diff that this is what it's doing. Overflow y auto. So it figured out that I'm using Tailwind. It doesn't even mention that. I love that. And now that issue is probably fixed. Let's take a look. Do I have this running? I don't think so. npm run dev. Oops, what's going on? Oh yeah, I switched branches. Let's fix that. 1 second. All right, so now I'm in the correct branch. npm run dev should probably be working right now. All right, good. So let's open that browser. Let's go to localhost 8000, because that's where my page lives. Let's see if the issue is fixed. Can I scroll? Maybe. Oh yay, I can scroll now. Lovely. Okay, so now that I have fixed the issue, let's try and use Goose, and I'll say, all right, great, the issue is fixed. Please commit the changes and push it to remote. And I'm on my main branch, so we'll see what happens. Okay. Running git status. Nice. Fix vertical scrolling. Oh, nice. So it came up with the message. Sweet. Git running push origin main. Added to git, committed. with a descriptive message push to remote repository. There's a security advisory from GitHub about some vulnerabilities in the dependencies. While not related to our current changes, you might want to review this at some point by visiting the security tab in GitHub repository. Oh my, this is really nice. Is there anything I can help you with? No, I'm good. Actually, you know what? Like when I push to main, Vercel is going to get run. So here's my page. Is Goose? Can you interact with Vercel? If so, show me active deployments. Show me the last active deployment. Let's see what happens. In the meantime, Marit, thank you for sending out those messages. So Marit is saying, my theory is that the things you can do with this is less of Goose doing it and more Claude with a powerful key doing it. My experience with keys I self-bought and local models was poor, and using company keys was good. This is based on 2 hours on it. I have to leave today. It would be fun to look at this more. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Oh, cool. So I do have my Vercel thing. Status building. Oh man, this is a pleasant surprise. This is like a really good assistant experience. Because I just asked it like, hey, Vercel, you know this thing? And it does. And now it's just like, hey, running Vercel, it's doing stuff. All right. Okay, let's see how good you are at coding stuff. I want to try a bit more of a developer experience. Let's try and see. Let's go open, and we're in this folder. So I'm going to go to home folder and say create a new folder called to do app. To do app. Okay, let's call it like that. All right, it understands what I want to do. Nice. Okay. Navigate to that folder and create a new Next.js project. I want you to build a simple to-do app. Inside that folder, install all of the dependencies and run dev server. Dev server. Let's see what happens. So yeah, Marit is raising concern about like using, yeah, like the whole setup of using Claude in the background and Goose essentially being sort of a wrapper behind that. I'm not sure if I would be as critical of this as you might be. I think like this is an experience that we have seen over and over, where you have at the basis of everything you have this large language model which you then connect to, and then you sort of like build stuff on top of that. So for me, when talking about like large language model, it's I don't know, it's I don't think I have like the best mental model for that, but I would consider this to be like sort of a database that you get access to. And now like what you do with all of that thing, it's totally up to you. it's sort of like we have all of these Apple devices all around the world, and that's like the basis of what we can do. And me creating an app to create some sort of experience for this kind of environment, I wouldn't call that sort of like taking the name out of it, or I'm not sure like what phrase to use. Yeah, like having my brain name on all of that experience. Um, I think that's like leveraging what these tools are capable of. I think the question is like whether you're owner of the experience or vendor of the experience, and I think like it's pretty clear that Goose is leveraging all of the power of AI and sort of creating a catered, like a customized experience for you. I don't know. I don't really have a problem with that. Um, Not sure. Maybe I did not really understand your beef with that, but yeah, feel free to explain. It's fine. And Rizel, hey, yeah, I know you're in the in the same team as Angie. Uh, it's been really fun so far. So the experience is great. Had a little thing where I needed to make myself familiar with recipes and all that kind of stuff. I think recipes kind of tripped me at the beginning because it felt like it's obviously a very critical part of that experience, that shareability, and I said I really like that. Uh, but I opened this and I wasn't really sure what to do with all this. Uh, and this may be my fault because I'm splitting my attention between taking a look at the documentation, taking a look at the chat, and trying to explore this thing. Uh, but that's what my what my experience was. So I want to say to fix that. I want to see if in production now everything is working as it should. Hey, oh wait, about I think we did fix that, but I also did not fix everything. Like I can scroll now, which I wasn't able to do before, but I don't think like the scrolling goes all the way. If you notice, there's a logging at the very bottom, and I think this header, this thing is creating some CSS nastiness. Is it possible to use GitHub Copilot as a provider for Goose? What do you mean, Marosh? I'm wondering like how that setup would look like. Oh, look at my page. It's all broken. Anyways. So Goose is working on my to-do app. Let's go. Is it possible to run Goose on Windows as UI app? I'm pretty sure it is. Let's take a look at, where's my documentation? Here we go. Here's documentation. If you go to quick start, here we go. Windows. Yeah, you just download it, and you both have the Goose desktop and Goose CLI. The CLI is interesting. I'll take a look at that as well. But the desktop is really nice. It kind of reminds me of like Claude and ChatGPT desktop apps. But something about this feels kind of better. I don't know what it is. I think the whole thing that you can choose your own model, and that you can choose your, yeah, you can change model, you can change your provider. I think that is really good. So it's like, I have Claude installed on my computer. Where is that? Guess it installed a new version. I have Claude, right? I have ChatGPT. So, but these are applications that serve only one master, right? Here we can customize whatever we want, and we still have all of the capabilities, all of the MCPs, and every extension that we have installed available, whichever model we use. It's one of the things I really like about Cursor, right? You can go to Cursor and you can say like which model you want to use. Like it is Claude Sonnet, Gemini. You can enable all of the ones that you want to use. You can disable the ones that you don't want to use. And I think this is a good experience. So far, what I have been experiencing with these different AI models is that some models are good at one thing, and some models are good at other thing. So, for example, Claude Sonnet is really good at writing code. It has been my experience so far. But then you have this research or deep analysis or whatever you would call that models, and those come like from Perplexity or some other providers. It doesn't seem like we have a model that is good at everything, or at least we don't have the same experience as users of these models that are like good at everything. Oh, okay. I was just waiting here because Goose is working on it. But what we have done, what I asked it to do is like run the server. So it's just waiting, and it's not really finishing because it's a running server. So let's go ahead and open the app. I'm curious to see what we have created. Oh, we have created a faulty thing. It looks like you're trying to use Tailwind CSS directly as a post CSS plugin. Oh, okay. So I have seen many current AI tools sort of trip over this because there have been some breaking changes between the version 3 and version 4, and since these large language models are trained on some dated data, they might trip over this um, and have problems. Let's open Cursor. I'm going to open this new project, this to-do app. Here we go. And see what's going on there. Yeah, so we have post CSS, tsconfig. Which version of Tailwind CSS? We have the latest, and that's the thing. Like the latest doesn't use the post CSS config anymore. I don't think it even uses Tailwind config anymore, if I remember correctly. So this is what's tripping it up. One of the things that we have been doing over at Nut with Replay is that when we create a to-do app, what we do, let me pick some of the, I think this one was good. Yeah, so LLMs are really good at understanding how a code looks like, right? They're large language models. They have a good understanding of, I don't know, you ask it to build you a to-do app, and they have seen thousands of to-do apps or thousands of React apps or whatever apps, right? And they can generate the code, but they actually don't really have a very good idea of how that code runs when it's inside the browser. And that's where most of the AI tools kind of trip, right? So I work at Replay, and we're currently working on this AI builder called Nut. And AI builders are not a revolutionary idea. There are a couple of those. We have Lovable, Bold, Convex. Who else is there? Base 44. But what we have our own spin on this, and I think that you're going to appreciate the spin. What we do when we create the app, we create Playwright tests alongside the application, and we run them. Before we were building this AI builder, we were creating a browser that recorded the whole code runtime. We were building this amazing dev tools for developers to sort of scroll back in time and see what each line of code was doing at a given time. And now we're using that same technology to run tests against these applications and to help you get something that is working. So this application is a full stack app. So I did like a Swiss tournament chess application where you can create a new tournament, give it a number of rounds, and then for each round, basically like you have players, player 1, let's do player 2. And for each round, you're going to like figure out who's playing against who. So basically, the Swiss tournament is you have a pool of all the people, and then you randomly let them play against each other. Whoever the group that wins plays against each other in the next round. The group that lost plays against each other in the next round as well. In the third round, based on how many wins and how many losses you have, you're going to be assigned a player. So that's what I built here, and I have I don't see it here now, but like this application was first created by LLM, and then we ran tests against that, and then when it threw any kind of error or some of the functionality was not working, we would provide that runtime information from that failed test and from the application itself, and basically put it back to the LLM, like, hey, these are the errors that happen at this interaction. Please make sure to fix those. Here are the references to the files. Here are the references to the error messages, etc. And it sort of fixes itself until you have something that is actually working. And this is one of the things that like any kind of LLM may kind of trip, again, because LLMs have really good idea of how a code looks like, don't have the best idea of how code behaves when it's actually ran. So I had the exact same error on Bolt New. I think this is going to be happening a lot nowadays, because Tailwind introduced a lot of breaking changes. Like the whole thing, the difference between version 4 and version 3 is huge. And yeah, it's these kind of errors are going to be problematic. So now the server is running. I'm going to say stop the server and install Tailwind CSS version 3. Let's see what happens. Oh, I need to stop it myself. Okay. So let's just go install Tailwind CSS version 3. This seems to have caused the issues. I actually don't need to say that. Okay. Yeah, so this is like the thing that also I had this experience with Cursor. Whenever Cursor tries to run the local server, it has access to terminal and it can run a command. But when it is a development server, it's of course running forever. And usually the thing is like the agent is going to wait for the terminal process to finish, which makes sense, right? But when you have a dev server, it's never going to finish unless you make it stop. So, oh, I may need to start a new session. It wouldn't occur to me, to be honest. I do use a single session in Cursor for every single thing I do to sort of make sure that the memory is not overloaded. But this doesn't seem like there's too much. Actually, there's a lot happening. I was about to say that it's not like we have too much going on, but we have created the whole application. So I'm assuming there might be a little bit of stuff going on. So Goose is working on it. Did it get stuck? It might. Yeah, let's try to open that new session. Okay, let's go. New session. We'll go to our to-do app. This project uses the latest version of Tailwind CSS. I wanted to use version 3. Okay, let's modify to version 3. I want to see what's going on here. Can I see that? Oh, here we go. Tailwind. It's not latest anymore. It's this one. And I'll close this. This is the old one, right? I have too many Goose windows opened. All right, I changed your Tailwind CSS version from latest. Thank you. Your project is now using Tailwind. All right, so let's go here and let's run it and see what's going on. npm run dev 3001. I think I have. There we go. We have a to-do app. New to-do. Where does it save the to-do? Let's take a. You know what? I'm not going to take a look. I'm going to ask Goose. Let's do that. Where does this to-do app save the created to-do items? Hey, there's no need to apologize. Glad you're here. All right, let's see. Oh, nice. By the way, you don't see that, but Goose is actually sending notifications to me and saying, like it has finished the work, which is really good. I really appreciate that in Cursor that they now have like a sound that plays in the background when when the chat is finished, because sometimes I just want to like make it do stuff and then like go do some other thing, and when it's finished I'll return back to that sort of like a multitasking workflow. So let's see. Based on code review, this to-do app stores to-do items in memory using React's useState hook. Okay. To-dos are stored in the component states. Data is not persisted when you refresh the page or close the browser. All to-dos will be lost. There's no backend or database or local storage implementation. Okay. So now we have a couple of suggestions that we can do. Like we can either use local storage, add a backend, use BAS. BAAS. I haven't heard this. I mean, I understand backend as a service, like Firebase or Supabase. Let's go. Yes, implement Supabase and set up everything so that I can run it locally. Let's see. I'm trying to throw like all kinds of different tasks to Goose and see what it can handle. Because Supabase has this interesting CLI where you can like run stuff locally and see, yeah, and it's a really nice experience. So I wanted to see how that works. Okay. Create env local. Okay. It seems there are some restrictions. Create. Oh yeah, env files are restricted. Cursor will trip on that as well. Like if you want to create an env file, you're going to have get into trouble. So yeah, I need to do that myself. Create to do stable. All right. So I think like in the future, what we are going to experience is that we won't have to go through these steps manually, right? So for example, nowadays, if you want to create a SaaS application and you want to create a Google login, right? You cannot do all of that inside Cursor or inside Goose or whatever tool you're using. You have to do that. You have to go to Google and create a new app and set up credentials and then save those credentials, etc. You have to do like all of these dance. And LLMs are pretty good at instructing you to do that, but also you have to go through all of that, which I don't enjoy. I think at some point our tools should be able to do that for us, but still pretty good. So I've shown my website here. This is the old thing. I shown my website here, right? So at the beginning of the year, I have created a course, 99 Cypress Tips, and what I did here is I used Cursor to create the whole experience. So not only like this site, but also the whole video experience, the whole fact that you can log in. I integrated Stripe, I integrated Supabase. All of the lessons are stored in the database. All of the video files are stored using something called MUX, and you only have access to the videos that you can have access to. Like all of the things, intricacies that go into creating your own personal Udemy on your site, I've been able to put together. So that's awesome. Um, yeah, and Rizel is confirming that yeah, the for safety purposes, Goose access to .env files is restricted. Yeah, it can be annoying, but I think by default it is a good approach. Even if you know like if at some point you decide that you can let the user decide to choose if they want to read or those env files or not, even in that case, like having that message say like, oh, this is an area I'm not going to, it I think that's a good experience. It sends a good signal, right? Because like there are many people that are concerned with security of these kind of tools. I mean, Goose is now like uh going through my computer, editing files, doing all kinds of stuff, and it's in a way it seems a bit scary. So it's good to have those restrictions, and it's good to have them signaled to the user that yeah, these are, I'm not able to do everything for you, but I'm able to do some things. I don't know how, like when I said that if you want to do a Google login, you need to go through all of these steps. I don't know like if ever that is going to be enabled by an AI agent to go through that and to create a new app. Because like what you're essentially doing there is you're creating a client ID and a client secret, and those are keys that need to be like stored securely. And I'm not sure if there's going to be an API access to access creating those applications. Maybe there is, I don't know, but I haven't seen that in anywhere. All right, let's go to wait. Where was the block? I wanted to take a look at some of the tasks. So, hey Rizal, that's your blog post. Let's take a look at that, shall we? I used Goose to build a chaotic emotion detection app. Okay. Uh, Developers deserve to have fun. Yes. Strong start of the blog. I love it. Uh, Let me just skim through this. I'm really curious of like what you have built. Result. Here we go. Oh my, that is love. This is what it does. This is beautiful. I love it. That's really cool. Uh, Anyways, sorry. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Добрий день. Гнець там. All right, I'm back. All right, let's take a look at some other things. I thought Goose how to drive a rover. Goose has no hands, no eyes, and no spatial awareness, but it can drive a rover. Came across a demo video where he used Goose to control a make block mbot rover. What is that? Uh, oh, nice. Okay. I think I saw something similar recently. Oh wait, I'm not sharing my screen. I should probably do that. Sorry. Uh, yeah, this is the make block robot. These things are fun. Uh, we have like a little robot at home as well. So we have like an agent to do that. This is so amazing. Like we have like so many agents and MCPs nowadays that once you have that endpoint or that entry point, you can really like do so much. I love that. Driver's license. Hmm. Treating LLMs like a tools in a toolbox. Yep. By the way, kudos to the whole team. Like, what the hell is this? Like, so many blocks, so many blocks. We're just like half year in, and you have written all of these. I have said that on LinkedIn that the launch of Goose has been one of the amazing launches, product launches I have ever seen. Like, you guys were so well coordinated, just like got the name out there. Uh, it just took me half year to finally finally try it out. But yeah, let's take a look at. I want to see some try something else. So we have built an app, we have used Playwright MCP. Now maybe I can do something else. So Blender extension? Are you kidding me? You have a oh wow. Okay. So I'm not a Blender user. I have it installed. I haven't been able to do anything successful with that. But what made me interested in that is that I started me and my son were we started to build a game, and we wanted to build something simple, like a little tank that you can go around and shoot stuff, or maybe make it a multiplayer game so that we can shoot each other. uh, but the biggest problem for that, in order for the game to look good, is that we needed some kind of 3D model of a tank. And at some point we just gave up trying to find that, because we knew that what we will need is to create a 3D model of that. Should we should we do that? Let's go ahead. Activating Blender extension. Do I have Blender? Yes, I do. Okay. Blender activated. Create a toy tank model in Blender. Oh, I'm still in the to-do app. Nah, never mind. Oh, okay. Goose. Sure. We need to give it some permissions. So, where are you, Goose? Here you are. Let's go. Oh, we need to quit and reopen. Let's see what happens. I don't know. Are you sure? I'm not sure, but system asked me to. So let's try opening that. Open the session history. Let's go. Oh, I cannot. Yeah, since I closed it, it's not going to do things anymore. What is this? Resume session. Hey, let's go. Resume session. Let's make it bigger. Yes, Blender is up and running. Please proceed. And this is the thing I guess I love the most about this whole AI thing. I'm very curious about stuff, but I'm also very lazy. And I never have the stamina to spend 2 weeks learning a tool like Blender, or spend 2 months learning a tool like Blender, right? Uh, and many of the tools that we are using today just have this very steep learning curve. And you need to have time, you need to have the stamina, you need to have motivation to build something, right? And it just, yeah, I don't know. maybe I lost it. Maybe I didn't really have it. Maybe it's the four kids I have, and evenings I just like don't feel like working again many days. So I thought, uh, yeah. And the thing I love about these AI tools is that they sort of strip that away. You can suddenly do stuff, right? You can suddenly um, overcome this kind of problems. So yeah, I kind of love it. Anyways, where's Goose? I apologize. I cannot seem to connect to Blender. Oh, I think edit prefer. Yeah. Okay, I forgot to do this. So let's go. I thought it was asking me for Blender the the extension that we installed. That was blunder on my part. Hey Blender, are you running? It seems that I see the icon on my dock, so it is. Yeah, like the exactly Rizal, like the thing I did with my website selling the course. Oh gosh, that would have taken me so much time. Yeah, way too much. Blender application, MCP add-on, download the add-on py file from Blender MCP repository. Okay. Download. Then we go Blender, edit preferences, add-ons, install from disk. Okay. Edit preferences, add-ons, install from disk. Here we go. Here we go. Install. And now we go after installing, enable Blender MCP. It is enabled, isn't it? Yeah. Start Blender MCP server. In Blender, press N to open the sidebar. Go to Blender MCP tab, connect to MCP server. Okay. So press N. Is that the sidebar? Oh, here are the tools. Tools. Blender MCP. Connect to MCP server. Let's go. Add Blender MCP server, launch the installer. I think I did that, right? Yeah, I did that. Yes, example usage. Okay. Okay, now it should be running. Try again. Let's see. Oh, Angie's here. Hey. Angie, isn't it like 4 a.m. where you are? Oh wait, you're in Berlin, right? It's we are developers today. Okay, so now it's doing things. Oh my god. Yes. Oh gosh, this is my heart is beating right now. This is so freaking amazing. It's a tank. The tank is taking shape. Oh gosh. Wow. I am so amazed. I knew that there's a Blender MCP nowadays that like there like things like these are already available. But again, I never had the time to like go through the setup and to like try it out. And like how it is with those internet demos, you sometimes feel like, yeah, all right, somebody spent like 5 hours putting it together and then created this small demo. But now that I see it, I'm like, oh yes. And it seems like it's going through a couple of iterations because the tank sort of went away, but we saw it for a moment. And that was, oh gosh, it's green now. Lovely. Look at my tank. It's starting to take shape. That is beautiful. I love this so much. This is so cool. Now we can see the tank. Let's add some more toy-like details. Oh gosh. This is really cool. Like it's obviously what is this thing? Come on, make make the cannon a little bit bigger. Come on. But still, this is so cool. It's like iterating and doing stuff. Obviously, we need the. I think we need the wheels. I'm not sure if this is like a placeholder, this gray thing over here. Um, but yeah, like look at that. It's a tank. I can build my game finally. Is it still working? Yeah. Get viewport screenshot. So like this is really cool. So it has like this whole MCP thing going on here to create that tank, but it's also doing screenshots in order to get that feedback. This is something that I talked about earlier, right? When we were creating that app, and the team at Not New is like constantly having that feedback, right? We write a piece of code and then we run tests against that. And then we gather information from tests and put it back in the LLM so we can do a next iteration. Like screenshots are really good at providing feedback to these language models. Uh, I don't know, like how much language is in language model when we are doing screenshots. I don't know like the exact technical details of that, but I kept hearing like adding a screenshot, providing a screenshot to a model like Claude or Gemini or whatever is actually doing a really good job. Like one image gives a lot more information than whatever prompt you would write. And it seems that these MCP flows tries to has a good understanding of that the feedback, like you create something, get feedback, create something, get feedback, iterate, get feedback, like that really works well. I think this is something that these AI tools should be implementing, right? And specifically now I'm in the space of AI builders like Bolt and Nut and Lovable, etc. I think the thing we are doing, and I don't want to like say praises to not me. I'm not doing anything. The whole team of engineers is doing super cool stuff. I'm just talking about it. But I think like that approach of having that continual feedback is a really good one. So yeah, yeah, Applitools was ahead of the game. Yeah, like I always said that Applitools, because we kept hearing about AI for years, right? It's that ChatGPT release when the whole world got that aha moment, like, oh, okay, now I understand how I can use AI, and the whole chat sort of interface, I think, helped that a lot because it took something that many people were familiar with a great results, right? Before that, when anyone said AI or machine learning, you were talking about Python and tables and like so much abstract stuff that did not make any sense, and like was hard to comprehend how that would be useful. But the apply tools, I always found like this is a really great application of AI because you have the image recognition thing going on. You don't have to deal with this one pixel shifts that you usually have when you just take a screenshot of your test. Uh, so like AI being able to figure out what's a real difference and what's not really a real difference, I think uh, that was a really good approach. That was the thing where I felt like AI makes a lot of sense. Yeah, AI and screenshots. That's it. All right, tank is looking good. Is it still doing something? Oh look, we have. Is that wheels or is that, I don't know. Okay, I'm not sure if this is still working. Yeah, I think it looks to me like it has finished working, although the animation is saying that Goose is working on it. Uh, this is a common thing that can happen, but still, yeah, I'm just like so happy with the fact that we have a tank now. Uh, that is so cool. Let's try to see if I can improve on this. Uh, make the tank less boxy. I don't know. Oh, failed to buffer request body. Limit length limit exceeded. Okay, I think we might need to create a new session. Yeah, we have reached some limit. I don't know what that limit is. If I retry, no, that's not going to work. Let's go back and try to see what can we do now. I have a tank in my blender and I want to finish working on it. I want to make it less boxy and more toy like. I want to see like what happens now if it's going to delete the tank altogether or no. I see you have a tank in the main body. Awesome. Okay, so it's going to continue working on it. Also, I would like to see if you know, I want to have it want the tank to have wheels. Not wheels. What do you call that? The conveyor belt thingy. I don't know. Ooh, okay, it's definitely less boxy now. I don't know what these huge wheels are. It's like it was trying to build a motorcycle and now it's taking shape. Like this whole thing is just so cool. The fact that you can see it change right in front of your eyes and then have that iterate on. Although it does not seem to me like it's iterating. It's like right now within this conversation, with this session, it seems like we are iterating, uh but like when we created a new session, it felt to me like it started from scratch. Actually, no, it didn't. It recognized that we have an object in Blender. Our cannon is like hidden somewhere. It now looks like a shoebox. All right. It is taking like weird sharp turns with this tank. I think it looked more like tank at the very beginning, and now it's all like again looks like a shoebox, or maybe a robot from this angle. We do have something that will resemble the wheels, I guess, at some point. It is getting confused. Like, all right, so like we're not there yet with the whole Blender experience, but I mean, this is much more than I could have ever achieved. And I imagine like someone, it's like with code, right? You have we have so many people trying out creating their own businesses and applications and websites, and you know, like we have seen that to have bigger or uh, less success. Some people can get really snarky about the fact when someone non-technical is failing at creating a web app. I don't think that's a good approach. I generally, genuinely think it is good that we have more people, thanks to AI, entering the tech space. And I understand there are like security concerns and all of that, but they're always been there, and it's about, you know, like learning and iterating. And I think I think AI can really make you a 10x engineer, maybe 10x designer, or you know, 3D artist or whatever. But you know, it's really good to ask yourself like, what is it that you are 10xing? Uh, because you know, like, look at me creating 3D models. What am I 10xing? Well, pretty much nothing, right? So 10 times 0 is still 0. But you know, if I had a better understanding of Blender, I could say like, hey, access this node and make changes on it. The things that would take me an hour to do, let's knock it out of the park in 10 minutes. If I have that amount of knowledge and can instruct AI to do something for me, I think that's going to bring amazing results. Um, for me, I'm really going to become a 10x of what I am today. But it's really important to ask yourself, like, what are you today? And you know, like, we're all on a journey. Sometimes you know a lot, sometimes you don't know a lot. That's what I kind of like about tech. You never know everything. There's just like different avenues that you can take and learn something. And honestly, I think like with all of these AI tools, I think it is a great opportunity to be learning and pushing boundaries and getting to understand even more stuff and maximizing your learning. And that's going to have a huge effect, right? Because you'll be 10xing that knowledge. And the more you know, the more powerful you can be with these tools. And I don't know, I think that's pretty amazing. Uh, it seems we got stuck again with this, yeah, belt and buffer request body. Oh no, wait, that's the previous chat. But this is also sort of still working on stuff. it would probably take a couple of iterations to get to the uh, to the goal. And I see it looks like this is unfinished. So maybe we have again hit some sort of limit. Uh, but I mean, the fact that we at some point we saw a tank. Oh look, we have a tank. So it is still working. Okay. The fact that we are able to get with zero knowledge to something like this, I think is amazing. If I had a very good knowledge of how to create something like that, I'm really wondering like what I would be capable of doing with tools like this. Um, anyways, I think on that note, we can finish it off for today. I had so much fun with this, and I'm like, this stream ends, and I'm going to continue playing with this tool because I definitely see a lot of potential. I definitely see like this is a great way to interact with different kinds of tools and make them talk to each other. I have been talking to a lot of people that are using our product at Replay, not that new, and we've seen that so many of these people struggle with like you know connecting all of the different tools that they have in their company. So for example, I want to search across Notion, GitHub, Linear, our internal documentation, and our Slack conversations, and distill the information, right? So many managers have trouble with that. They want to like, you know, I have to look at these 5 different sources, distill that information, and then make decision on everything I know. Like, how cool would that be if you were just in charge of making the decision and not, running from post to post to like get an understanding of what's going on. Uh, I think there's a yeah there's a lot to be done here, and agents like this, I think they are going to be helpful with that. And I cannot wait for the time where, you know, let's say you're a manager of a team, you know that there are like 50 conversations happening, and you just ask an AI agent for distilled information, and it's going to be shown in a graph or in some sort of interactive graphic where you have a slider and the data changes across the timer and so many cool stuff like that. I don't know. I like graphs. So uh yeah. Um I'm going to be releasing video today on some of my thoughts on this whole AI thing, especially for those people that are hesitant and struggle with all kinds of different confusing points. Um, so watch out for that on my YouTube channel, and I will be discussing some of the things that I've been mentioning right here. Anyways, this has been a lot of fun. Kudos to the team at Block, Rizel, Angie, and the whole team. You're amazing, as I said. Like the activity, the DevRel activity around that has been top notch. Just beautiful. So congrats to all of that. You have an amazing product, and I hope you'll be successful with it because I see a lot of potential here. I have my tank. I'm still looking at it. It's beautiful. Anyways, thank you everyone for joining in today, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully in a week. I'll keep you posted. All right. See ya.